What's the worst thing you ever did as horny teenager? Went off the trail at the Grand Canyon and wanked in the bushes. Rubbed one out while riding a bicycle. I was on a long-distance bike tour in rural Wisconsin. How the Who's done Omegle? Wasn't me, but in swim class once saw a girl put her nether parts against one of those water jets. I did this as a kid, without realizing. Now I cringe every time I think about it because my parents plus a whole bunch of random strangers 100% saw me doing that. Fingered my then girlfriend in the backseat of her parents' car as we were driving home from her grandfather's funeral. I don't know who's more up, me or her. I cut her vagina in my stuffed koala from Build-A-Bear and went to town. Well, those bears are supposed to be customized for you. I jerked off in the empty apartment under mine when I was 17 and I thought that was risky. Reading these comments I'm like, holy would be my then girlfriend, now wife, at her mom and stepdad house. I spent the night there. They let me sleep in the bed with her but told us no fooling around with each other. I was 18 or 19 at the time, she was 16. She lived with me at my mother's and father's house. Anyways, she had one of those beds that was metal, had those metal rods that needed screws at the top and bottom. Bed was loud, squeaky as Anyways, we started doing the deed. Her stepdad was at work but her mother was home sleeping. We get almost done and the bed fell apart. The bed was made out of aluminum and she had hardwood floors. So needless to say, when bed fell apart you heard about 20 or 30 bars falling on the floor. Her mom woke up, came in the room, I'm there on bottom at full mast while wife is on top butt ass naked in the process of getting off me. Her mom laughed and said yup, we loosened up the screws and bolts. Masturbated into an empty fast food soda cup in my female friend's family's living room while having phone sex with my girlfriend on their phone, while my friend was in the other room trying to ignore what I was doing. My boyfriend and I scrounged up enough money for an hour at the local no-tell motel. Soon after we realized I locked the keys in the car. We had no money and couldn't call anyone, so we broke a window out. Played dumb the next day when my parents saw my window. Humped a hole in microwaved watermelon. I do not recommend. How the hell did you fit a watermelon in a microwave? Found my parents' back massager with an attachment that cut the head of my cock. Used that sometimes. Mom found out once or twice. And I'll never forget her saying, I know it feels good, but, quote, twice. Not me, but a friend of mine swims up to me and another buddy at swim practice. Hey guys, have you ever whacked it and your balls hurt after? Nah man, you might wanna get that looked at. Yeah, I didn't think beating it that many times before practice would hurt. How many times? Oh, I don't know, like 20 or 25. Say, do you guys have calluses on your dick? The banana peel wrapped in duct tape. Then I flushed it down the toilet and it actually got stuck. Naturally I was horrified that it would come back up as my dad was sitting there plunging the toilet trying to figure out why it was blocked up. Thankfully it ended up going through and I never had to explain why a duct tape banana peel was in the plumbing. Used a can of dry shampoo to masturbate with. Only I used the capped end. The lid came off and got stuck in my vag. Took ages to get it out as the edges of the cap were stuck behind the opening. I bled a little. That sounds funny and awful. However, at the first sentence I was trying to figure out how I could whack it penis with dry shampoo. Haha. Yeah, no. I thought I was a really horny teenager. But reading these comments makes me feel like a Puritan. Make a makeshift fleshlight. You get a glass and put 2 sponges in the glass with a rubber glove in between them. Then I put it in between my mattress and bed and it. Worst part, since I used hand cream for lube, it dripped out onto the carpet. I have a dark blue carpet. My parents like traveling even though we don't have much money. We finally went to Washington, D.C. so we wanted to spend loads of time. I got super horny and I nutted in the Lincoln Memorial bathroom. That's exactly what the founding fathers created America for. Masturbate 17 times in 24 hours. The last 4 was just your wiener coughing up dust. I find it a bit alarming that I can relate to so many of these. I thought I was home alone. My parents walked in on me and a vacuum cleaner getting acquainted. My dad couldn't stop laughing. My mom was horrified. Later on, it was the most uncomfortable dinner ever. My dad just sat there snickering in between bites of meatloaf, while the only thing my mom said to me the whole time was "Adam, eat." Soon after that, I got the talk from my father. It created this airtight seal around my dick. But if I lifted the hose just slightly, it let enough air get through that it created a significant amount of vibration, which felt pretty amazing if I remember it correctly. Yes, I did finish in it. It was actually my second go-round within a half hour or so when they caught me. A dent ended up forming in the top of it because it overheated thanks to a lack of airflow. Later, my dad basically told me to stop sexing the appliances and to keep my distance from the wet and dry vac. The couch with my thumb up my ass. Jacked it with shampoo from hell that made my dick shed like a snake over the course of a week. Man, I was a horny AF teenager. Preferred masturbation technique was to sit bounce on a pillow held vertically between my legs on my bed. Straddled, humped my bedpost footboard. That one was a bad idea. Hard wood. Think I bruised my bits a couple times. Humped stuffed animals. Lubed my fingers with soap and put them up my butt. Bad idea. Fun at first. And then the stinging starts. Paintbrush equals makeshift dildo. Heavy under the clothes petting at prom with my boyfriend. They had like a photo booth thing set up in a room off the dance floor. But the worst was probably, had a personal computer in my bedroom. Logged into this dumb little strip poker flash game that had a built-in chat room. Spent probably 6 to 8 hours masturbating, cybering with anonymous people instead of sleeping. Got kind of dehydrated as the door was closed and, well, it's sweaty work. Had school the next day. Was dead on my feet. My husband and I have been together since high school and there was a rumor he got his penis stuck in a Gatorade bottle. He had to rip it off and thought he broke his penis. His friends would straight on rag on him. I think he confided in one and they told everyone. I never actually believed it, but a couple of years into marriage and he admits it was true. He was very adamant I clarify it was Gatorade and not Powerade. Of course. The man has standards. Orgasm 10 times with an electric toothbrush in a day. 9/10 dentist recommend. Around 16 years old 16 years ago, before handheld screens were a thing, I got drunk alone at my parents', and printed off almost 50 pages of close-up vaginas, and plastered them all over the bathroom wall with thumbtacks. After an awesome 360 degrees wank session, I went to my room and passed out drunk before I could dispose of the evidence. My sister walked into the vagina room before I got rid of it. She still jokingly brings that up, over a decade later, as if that was embarrassing enough. Soon after, my father used the computer for work reasons, and had to use the printer. There was one gigantic vag left in the printer queue. I took 2 Ziploc bags and put warm water mixed with lotion in them, mixed them together in the bags and put them under the mattress right on the edge. Was going to town on it and it felt amazing, until one of the bags burst and got liquidy lotion all over my mattress. I had no idea the damage until years later when I moved out. That spot was moldy and super gross and I had no idea I was sleeping on that for years. I put my phone on vibrate, then put it next to my clit. Were you expecting a call or just very patient? I was the official porn distributor for my middle school. This was before Pornhub and smartphones. I was a good writer, so I would take commissions to write you and your crush self-insert erotica. If that wasn't up your alley, I had a massive binder of smut printed from the early internet. I'd staple stories into booklets and loan them out to other students based on whatever ship or budding kink they were into. Helped at least one of my friends realize he was gay. I have no idea how we never got caught. I used to jerk off in the living room whenever I felt like it, and to this day I don't know if anyone found out. With a blanket over, of course. This wasn't me, but it was something that the brother of a friend did. Basically, he was getting hot and heavy with his girlfriend and noticed he did not have a condom. I guess he really wanted to have sex and he really wanted to use protection. Basically, he made a makeshift condom out of a Ziploc bag and some rubber bands and proceeded to have sex with his girlfriend with it to completion. Kudos to him for sticking with "wrap it before you tap it," though. Back in the day, if your parents were home, there was nowhere in this town where you could bang. The cops patrolled every dead-end street and every nearly empty parking lot. So I got the bright idea to pull my car alongside other cars at a dealership lot and use that as a spot to bang in plain sight. Never got caught. But if they were checking the cameras, someone saw a lot. Sent nudes even though I knew my parents could read deleted texts. I've posted this before but deleted it. But I grew up in a very conservative Christian home, so asking my mom for birth control and/or condoms was not an option, so asking to get a dildo was out of the question. So in my infinite wisdom, I improvised and would use the glass banana from this decorative bowl of glass fruit my mom kept on the dining room table. I knew how dangerous it was, but it was a risk I was willing to take. The banana luckily never broke, but it was still shameful to have to sit at the dining room table every night for dinner being reminded of my dirty little secret. Used a banana as a dildo. It was wrapped in a condom, but I made the mistake of peeling it first, so it just turned to mush.